Hello. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. Inside we both know what's been going on. We know the game and we're gonna play it. And if you ask me how I'm feeling, don't tell me you're too blind to see. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and hurt you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and desert you. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and hurt you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Oh, I'll give you up. Oh, give you up. I'm never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna give, never gonna give. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. Inside we both know what's been going on. We know the game and we're gonna play it. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna get you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Never gonna give. Never gonna give. Hello? 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 Let me turn off the echo. Hello, Sena done? Yep. You asked for it, you got it. I don't know how long we'll go, and I didn't want people to like miss it during a closing, so it'll just be at the opening. When you open up this VOD, you'll be like, what the hell is going on? Sena's going on. Hello, Sena. Hello. The cult of Ask Me. Hello? So, we're gonna be $5. Absolute Mad Woman actually did it. Yes. Let me put on some music. Here we go. Whoa. Let me move down a little bit. Okay. There we go. Hello. We are going to be doing cults, and I will be separating it. I don't think that the time that I have allotted myself is going to be long enough to really get into it. So for now, I'm gonna keep it a little lighthearted, you know? I'm gonna just cover a couple things, and then we will do part 2 sometime next week, I think. So you'll see what I mean when I get to the table of contents. Okay, I kind of upset my stomach by singing though, because I was like, anthill kids. So there's going to be more lesser known codes in the second part. This run is going to be mainly, sorry, I'm opening my water. This one's going to be mainly the infamous cults, the ones that are kind of just well known. I am going to try and cover things that are worldwide, Mr. Worldwide, hello. But mainly because I just think it's, breathe, wow. I just think it would be good to, acknowledge that cults are a worldwide phenomena and not just American. Sena and hyperventilating ASMR. I wish I didn't have to close this up all the way, but I'm just so nervous about knocking it on my desktop. So, oh my god, my nose is really itchy. Okay, Gomen. Sorry, holy cow, stop. We have Debussy, the Pussy playing again tonight. And we're just gonna get right into it. The lesser known cults are going to be interesting. Yes, I will do probably one at the very end. And then we'll go celebrate Mom's birthday. My mommy. Okay, starting off on Debussy is a bold move. Yes. Okay. Contents. So here's what we're covering in part 1. What's a cult? My definition of a cult. Because, there's going to be some things that are technically cults and things that I just feel like are just, weird religions, but still count as cults in worldview, right? And then infamous cults. And then for the next stream, we'll go over lesser known cults, my favorite cults, cult leaders, and then wrapping it up officially. So little two-part. Oshi birthday! So, let me open up my notes on my handy dandy iPad. I wrote these, usually I do cute notes, but today I just was kind of nah, this is a lot to cover. Will we get into Lisa and Cult Jam? Maybe in part 2. Okay. What defines a cult? Okay. So there are religious, hi Sena, hi Abby. There are religious behaviors that help define a cult and to define religion in general and how people approach their world around them, right? Wow. I got a lot of hiccups right now. Sorry. And remember, always finish on debak, never finish on debussy. I'm so sad. Why did I read it? All I saw was, that is wrong. I always get so nervous when I see you. What the hell? Hello, Kenneth. Kenneth. Anyway, let me not notice you. You don't exist. Okay. These behaviors, kind of just show things. I like listening to cult talk. Good. The religious behaviors that define a cult can be broken down into churchly, sectarian, and mystical. Okay? That makes sense in general. We'll cover that a little more deeply in the second part. The word cult itself was first introduced conceptually by sociologists, was introduced in 1932. Although most sociologists don't continue to use the term in modern day, as it has a strong negative connotation in American culture. And it is no longer just a descriptor word or just a word in general. It's usually connected to something negative. A lot of cults that we'll be seeing on this list tonight have done some pretty heinous shit. And that is why they have been classified as a cult, because, negative. Oh god, I have a bot now that does hic. What? Hello? Sorry. Yes. At this point, the word itself has been reduced down to nothing more than a religion I dislike. Now, this is quoting not a Scientologist, a sociologist. She really just kind of, when I read the article, she was like, it's a bad word and people use it to be mean to religions they don't like. And in a way, I agree. In another way, it's okay, shut the fuck up. Not every word can hurt you, Brenda. Simmer down. Anyway. Next slide. Jesus, breathe, Sena. Okay. Okay. The way that I define a cult personally, because I think it's important to differentiate these things. You can't truly define a cult. This is my kind of blanket belief. When I took my religion courses, because I love theology, I took multiple theology courses. One of the ones I took in college, at the beginning of our course, people were asking so much about cults, and of course, when you join a theology course, of course you want to learn about the bad stuff. You're like, what about the cults? yeah, Christians, Muslims, what about the cults? Our professor kind of broke it down in a way that I appreciated a lot. He said, okay, what defines a cult? And, obviously, chat, you can answer that. What defines a cult? Is it, a group of people who believe in things? Okay, that's a religion. Okay, a group of people who believe in things and solicit money. Okay, that's a corporation. A group of people who believe in things and have a collective mindset. All the things, like, you could just say, oh, it's a group of people who have a very strong belief in ideology and keep themselves separate from the world. Okay, the Amish. So, there's so many things that can fit that very, broad example, right? MLMs fit cults. Modern day religion, any sort of religion can fit a cult. Corporations can fit cults. Even VTuber fan groups can fit cults. So anything can be a cult through that type of definition, right? Almost any organization can have cult-like characteristics. Exactly. I'd say cult is a rhetorical term with political usage. I would agree. K-pop fans could be a cult. A cult JPEG of our stream could be a cult. Most cults have a living figurehead who is worshipped. Yes and no. One of my favorite video essayists on YouTube, she covers all kinds of things that could be cult-like, and some of my favorite ones that she's covered are all MLMs. Nobody's worshipped. The only thing that worshipped is the almighty dollar and the opportunity to earn it. Yeah, so Build-A-Bear cult, let's go. So for me, a cult has to have the following, okay? It has to be violent in nature. It has to have a strong belief system or manifesto and be exclusionary to who joins. Think about, the Ku Klux. What do you have to be to join? You have to be white. You have to be straight, right? Those are things. These are, pre-markers of, you have to be this. But I think the big one for me is the violence aspect, right? There should also be a strict guideline of how to lead and live your life as one of its members and what is required of those members, be it financial, physical, or emotional, or even sexual. I believe it does not need to be religious in nature, and it does not need to be outwardly violent towards others, but just violent in general, be it ideologies through physicality against its members, some sort of mental abuse, emotional or sexual, right? But Sena, what if there isn't violence involved? Truthfully, it might just be a weird group. Is it violent? Can it harm me or others? No? Then why do I care? Okay? Very libertarian stance there. But, we generally fear the unknown, but that does not make them evil in nature. It just makes them different. So, could just have a band of weirdos. A band of tax evaders. How does that hurt me? How does it hurt anybody? It hurts the government. Oh, no. It doesn't hurt anybody. So, I look at it and I go, meh. I put that arm up, and then I drop them. Because I don't care. So that is there. Okay? Boop. Now, before I move on, we're obviously going to be covering some, you know, baddie bad guys. So I would be remiss if I did not include some of the most infamous cults in this, right? So bear with me as I briefly list a few, as well as their beliefs, what happened to them, and whether they're still active today. And before you panic, obviously, I'm including more than just ones in the USA. Japan in particular seems to have a deep fascination with cults. There is a book called Cult. It is by, oh gosh, what was his name? I didn't write it down. It's called Cult. Who is it by? He's a Japanese author. I really liked it. Let's see. Fuminori Nakamura. He does Cult X. It is a fairly decent read. It is fairly decent. Japanese cults seem to have something against subways for one. Well, that, and they seem to be pretty money hungry, right? And then I am definitely getting into a touchy territory when it comes to a certain cult, okay? But that's just because I hate the ATF. Anyway, so let's just start her off nice and strong. Here we go. Heaven's Gate. Is being a VTuber fan a cult? It can be. Is it violent? I don't think so. You consider something a cult if they try to cut the members off from non-believers and if they have very strict, strange rules for members. Yeah, I think cutting people off can be a little bit, you know, could be a little violent in nature. Comet's coming, let's go! ATF is a cult. Comet's haunted. Heaven's Gate. Obviously, we recognize this goober. Marshall Applewhite. Okay, originally started in 1974. Obviously, there was the mass suicide in the rented mansion. They ate poison, secured plastic bags on their heads, and suffocated to death. Okay, but it's deeper than that. He told his followers plenty of things, right? Including that he was the second coming of Jesus. And the end of the world was upon them via comet. And that God was an alien. He encouraged them to give away all their money and cut off contact with their families. They were also put on a master cleanse diet of lemonade, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup in order to get rid of sexual thoughts. And 8 men volunteered to be surgically castrated. Ouch! Marshall Appleby giving more people Odie. Garfield Edwards, God. Odie. In March 1997, 39 members of the Heaven's Gate donned dark outfits, matching Nike shoes. I don't know why. They drank vodka and ate applesauce and pudding that contained barbiturates, which is poison, some form of poison, and put plastic bags over their heads to suffocate themselves to death. When police officers entered the home, they found a line of bodies, each covered with purple fabric. It was one of the largest mass suicides in the history of the United States. Nike is the most holy brand, obviously. Or something, right? So, you know, they said, God is an alien. We're gonna go meet him. We're not gonna build a phallic-shaped spaceship and fly all the way up there. We are simply going to die. And then our souls will ascend instead. And I am Jesus. Almond Joy. Hey, Sena and chat. Hey, Riv. I actually had customers tonight. What'd I miss? Not much. I rickrolled chat. The usual. Anyway. Imagine if the Heaven's Gate mass suicide actually happened in an Applebee's shop. Those Nike Air decades were comfy as heck. I own just one pair of Nike. I got it from a thrift shop. Alright, Manson family. I mean, we briefly covered them, obviously, 2 Sundays ago. Cult doesn't seem very fun. They wanted to have Max Riz when they went to meet the aliens. They said, hey, guy, you like my drip? Anyways, Manson family. We covered this when we went over our serial killers, okay? Started in 1967, late 60s. It ended in the murder of 5, people. It was all started to incite a race war. It's no longer active technically, but it still has many, 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 many fans. Obviously, Manson, you didn't know Marilyn Manson did this stuff. The more you know. Oh my god. But obviously, Charles Manson has those infamous tapes that are always so funny to watch and a little creepy and unnerving. Don't recommend watching it at night if you're a nervous Nelly. The cult leader told his followers he wanted them to go on a killing spree. Okay? They wrote the word pig in Tate's blood. Some lady drank her blood. Yada yada, bada bing, bada boom. He, died in prison. The other ladies are still in prison. Yada yada, bada bada. Splatoon 2 Splatfest 21 July 2018. Was Manson a part of MK Ultra? Potentially. Shinrikyo. Yeah, I know you guys are gonna recognize his face. And if you don't, where you been? Where you been, Loca? Okay. Started in JP Jesus. Shut up. Started in 1984, it resulted in chemical terrorism in Tokyo subway systems, and it is still technically active. I do not recognize him. Oh, well, I guess I'm the only weird one here. Talk about having an unfortunate face. Full-on squid on Octo Race War, oh god. Sena Snuff, yes. Sumo Jesus, shut the fuck up. That's rude. Shinrikyo, that man made an anime of himself. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Why are there no bends in Tokyo? Oh god. The cult Shinrikyo was founded in the 80s by Shoko Asahara, which, no offense, Shoko Asahara, but that kind of sounds like a girl's name. Shoko. I don't know, I'm not Japanese, but it sounds a little girly. He claimed to be Christ, so really JP Jesus, at one point. Garnered tens of thousands of followers across the world. His teaching started out spiritual and then became increasingly violent. Cult members paid money to drink his blood. Yeah. On March 20th, 1995, members of Shinrikyo left 5 bags filled with toxic nerve agent on 3 Tokyo train lines during rush hour. Passengers began choking and throwing up. 13 people passed away because of the attack, and 5,800 were injured. As months went by, the cult tried and failed to attack other subway stations with deathly cyanide. Asahara was sentenced to death, along with 12 other members of Shinrikyo. 7 members were executed in July of 2018, including Asahara himself. The other 6 members are still on death row in Japan. Yes. Sarin gas was horrendous. Let me see. Where's Shinrikyo? Okay. Asahara had originally started a yoga school. This is how this originally started, by the way. After a trip to India when she met the Dalai Lama and achieved enlightenment in the Himalayas. He changed the name of his school to Shinrikyo, Supreme Truth, and began teaching a combination of Buddhism, Hinduism, and Christianity. Okay? Crazy stuff. Prophecies. Asahara was fascinated with Nostradamus and even came up with his own disaster prophecies, such as impending war between Japan and the United States. He was a little late to the party. Still on death row? Nope, he's dead. There's like a couple still on death row though. Never trust yoga instructors. Stop calling the cult leaders based. They'll do what they want. They'll do what they want. Who's that? I mean, you had to sub and be subbed for 5 minutes just to say it, so joke's on you, bookaboo. Joke's on you. Anyway. The Branch Davidians. Okay. This guy in particular was, like, obviously a little weird. He was a little weirdo. He was a little weird. $500. Thanks, FBI. I should ban Twitter, to be honest. You agree? Well, I like posting my arts and my stuffs there, but yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Bust out the dolphin music. Nah, dude, getting those earned executions were based. Oh, gosh. Oh, okay, that's what you were saying. This guy, he was a little weirdo, okay? To be perfectly honest, he was a little weirdo. But the other people, I don't know, the other people I viewed as innocents. He was the one who was a little funky. He was a little silly. He was like, hey, bro, do you know your wife Cindy Lou Who? She's my wife now. And they were like, minor spelling mistake, where? Started 1955 members were attacked in a strong wield. Good looks. Alright. That's fine. Did you put the called in Nixfim in here? Nope. I would say that's more of an obscure cult, but it is well known, I guess, on the internet. But it's not well known, by society. No, it's even worse. Whatever. Strong Hild. Oh shit. Sorry. I worked a full day and then busted out an entire art piece in like 2 hours. Please understand. Okay. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Members, it started in 1955. It originally branched off of Branch Davidians. This is obviously called the Branch Davidians. Doesn't really matter too much. The members were attacked in a stronghold between ATF agents and the FBI, where the government burned innocent children alive. Allegedly. There was like 60 something deaths. Where did it go? There were 60 something deaths. I literally had it wrote down. Whatever. There was like 75 people died. Okay, I think I tried to put 76. 75 deaths. There we go. And they are potentially still active. There's whisperings about them still having some sort of presence in Texas. Probably not in Waco, since, those, the freaking DIY, the DIY people moved there. You're getting rid of evidence just like the ATF, allegedly. No! David Koresh, okay, David, believed that he could talk to God. He believed he was a prophet. He also thought that the world was ending, as do most people. In fact, any sort of modern day Christianity, in the sense of, American modern day Christianity, do believe that the world is ending in a sense, because they subscribe to the belief of the rapture. But that's for later. Okay? Waco, we ain't coming out, literally. And then, them taking all the kids. Oh my god, dude, the whole thing pisses me off. They could have rescued all those kids. Then they gave them all back. Because these women were like, we want our kids. And then they gave them back. And then they killed them. The women didn't kill them. The government did. Because, what the fuck did they... No. I'm sorry. No. Okay. Cult leader managed to convince more than 100 people to move to Waco, Texas. Or just outside of Waco, Texas, technically, where they built a compound. Which included his belief that men could have wives, including girls as young as 10, although there is not a ton of evidence that he was with children, potentially. I don't know, it's like a gray area. It's like a he said, she said thing, right? On February 28, 1993, the FBI arrived to the scene to arrest Koresh and ended up in a 51-day standoff. And by that point, they had dumped too much money in it, might as well kill them all, right? Wrong. We know. There's been multiple Netflix documentaries on this of us going, why the hell? What the hell did you do? Why were you down there? Why couldn't you just leave them alone? They were in the middle of nowhere, Texas. What the fuck were they gonna do? Nothing. You were mad that a bunch of American citizens had their firearms, which they had the rights to have, and then you went, actually, it seems like they're branding a militia. Let's kill them. Yeah. I mean, in layman's terms, but allegedly, of course. So, oh my god, this shit pisses me off. Okay, obviously David is not actually David. His name is Vernon. Okay. He was married to multiple people. LMAO, yeah, Brant. Yeah, I don't care. It's alleged as lovage. They were unregistered. Okay? Why should I tell you I own guns? I have the right to own them. Why should I have to tell you? Hello? Hello, Dawn. They don't have to be registered. Yeah. Most firearms don't have to be registered. Anyways, the whole point is that a bunch of kids and a lot of the victims who died were unfortunately children. Did die in an incineration. They were locked into the basement, allegedly by David Koresh. But, certain agents who were there at the time reported hearing children crying and begging to be released. And there was a door on the outside that could have technically been broken down and was potentially ignored. Potentially. So, Sena, have you read the book Programmed to Kill? No, but that sounds fun. 2 pregnant women as well. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely PR for their dog kill squad. Yeah. So, they were made an example of, I fear. So, allegedly the door was unlocked. Yeah. Obviously, there's also that hilarious image of the window and the agent, the one. Moving on, before I get into actual trouble. Before I get myself in trouble. Children of God. Wow. Aren't we all just children of God? Okay. Started in 1968. So you see this creep? He's a creep. He's a creep. He's a creep. My sympathy goes to the innocent. I'm not going to shed a tear for David or pedophile cultists. Agreed. I don't shed a tear for David. My heart goes out to the children and the victims. I feel like a lot of the people who join cults are very gullible, and I do feel bad for a lot of them, except for the people who are leaders within it, right? They benefit. They stand to benefit. A really good example is fundamentalist Mormons. God, I feel so terrible for them. I feel terrible for the girls being married off to older men, and especially for the boys. They're called what? Shoot, I think they're called. What are they called? There's a term for them, but they're because they're in Utah and they have no outreach program, they have no ways of connecting, they sometimes end up wandering around in the desert up there and just dying of natural causes because they don't think they have anyone out there who will love them or care for them, and they die alone and scared and think they're going to hell because they were thrown out of their religion. Terrible stuff. The whole situation could have and should have been handled differently. Agreed. Not a good start to this cult. Yes. So, started in 1968. It's ongoing. Children of God. Numerous members have been accused of child abuse. It's been later rebranded. It is now known as the Family International. It was established by this weirdo, David Berg. He was a traveling preacher. We call that an evangelist in these parts. They believed in free love that reportedly involved female members recruiting with sex, sometimes known as flirty fishing, and survivors say children were regularly abused. Wasn't Joaquin Phoenix part of Children of God? No, Joaquin Phoenix isn't a bad dude. I don't know for sure. There was a sexual abuse for myself from the age of 4. Not just from my dad, who got convicted, but from various other members of the cult, some related, some not. Verity Carter, who grew up in the cult, told BBC News. I wasn't comfortable with the things being done to me, but if I asked a question, I got beaten or put on silence restriction. I was punished a lot because I was never able to stop asking questions. Berg died in 1994. The Children of God later rebranded, changed their name to the Family of Love, and then the Family International, after it had been labeled a cult and was investigated by the FBI and Interpol. Yikes. Fucking yikes. Just, yeah. No bueno. Okay? the 1960s, after hearing the large hippie population in Huntington Beach, California. Oh no, Colton, California, who would have guessed? Christian minister David moved there to recruit young people. It wasn't hard for him, and the hippies were quickly attracted to his anti-establishment attitude. Many gave up their jobs and donated their savings to the group to live communally in Berg's house. The group moved to Arizona when Berg claimed to receive a revelation that California would be struck by an earthquake. Members began to call Berg Moses, and their group the Children of God. In the 70s, the Children of God recruited all over the country and even set up international centers. By 1974, had more than 4,000 members in 70 countries. Berg wrote a series of letters to all his communities to relate his teachings. In 1978, he reorganized the group, renaming it The Family. However, the U.S. anti-cult movement targeted the Children of God, and many parents of members kidnapped and deprogrammed their children. Based parents. They were like, sorry, hippy dippy, this shit's a little too fucking weird. Get him! He encouraged open sexual relationships and experimentation. The group has also been accused of encouraging child sex abuse. It was called flirty fishing. He encouraged his members to engage in sexual relationships to attract new members. He said, slut yourself out for Jesus. Slut yourself out for Jesus. Yeah, no. Fucking gross. Disgusting. Okay, was known for free love among children. 1982, Berg published a book that depicted his toddler stepson, Davidito. I'm sorry. His name is David. His name's David. And he named his son Davidito. Oh my god, this is supposed to be serious, but oh my god, what the fuck? Okay. That depicted his toddler stepson, Davidito, being exposed to free love practices and engaging in sex play with adult women. Fucking evil. Shoot him. Shoot him up. Hang him up by his entrails and just leave him to die slowly, painfully. In 2005, Davidito, having changed his name to, that's not better, Ricky Rodriguez, murdered his former nanny and shot himself, leaving a video saying that this was revenge. People do shit to kids. It'll never make sense to me. Don't tell me twice, Sena. Oh my god, God, that's horrible. Time to gas up old Chippy. Yeah, no kidding. What the fuck? You know what? Based on him to, like, not end his life, but to be like, abuser, you're dead. But how do you? I just awful. Whew. Sorry, that was actually kind of heavy. Sorry about that. Now we're gonna talk about the People's Temple. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. That shit is so fucking nasty. I literally hate people. Humanity. Fucking disgusting. Okay, sorry. People's Temple started in 1954, known for the Jonestown suicide, where 918 people died. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. That is where this term was originally coined. And it was defunct as of 1978. Oh yeah, I've heard of Jonestown. Yeah, this is Jim Jones. This is this motherfucker. Okay, People's Temple. The epitome of the charismatic cult leader, Jim Jones, was a preacher from the Pentecostal tradition. Okay? Although white, Jones attracted a large African-American following of his preaching because of his preaching style, as well as dedication to integration and racial equality. His teachings were influenced by liberation theology and socialist beliefs. Jones began the People's Temple in the 1950s in Indianapolis. After reading in Esquire magazine about places to survive a nuclear holocaust, he moved his congregation to Ukiah, California. In 1965, in the next 5 years, the People's Temple went membership went from less than 100 to thousands. With thriving churches in San Francisco and Los Angeles, Jones also built up a significant amount of political clout. Clout chaser. Meanwhile, Jones began building a commune called Jonestown in Guyana, a socialist-led country in South America. In 1977, when Jones heard that the New West magazine was to publish an expose on life in the People's Temple as a mixture of Spartan regimentation, fear, and self-imposed humiliation, he and his congregation quickly fled to the commune. He said, "Y'all gonna expose me? Nay, nay." And then he said, "All right, we out." Where he then convinced convinced by former members and relatives of members to go, U.S. Congressman Leo Ryan flew down to visit Jonestown to learn more about it. Just before he was about to leave, November 18, 1978, Jones's men arrived at the airstrip and killed the congressman as well as several others. That same day, Jones convinced his congregation to kill themselves. More than 918 people died, including 276 children. It's a fucking waste of humanity. Unification Church. The less infamous ones won't be as depressing, so. Okay, the Unification Church. The Moonies, also known as the Moonies. His son survived. Yeah, a lot of people did. I think it was FlaVR. Shut the fuck up. Gee, I wonder why. So, it was started in 1954 and is still technically active. It was formerly known as Holy Spirit Association for the Unification of World Christianity, that's a mouthful, and was founded by Reverend Sun Myung Moon. Born in North Korea, Moon claims to have received a vision when he was 16 years old that told him he was called to complete Christ's mission on earth. Korean Jesus. Amen. According to Moon, Christ was crucified before he was able to fulfill his mission of marrying and having perfect children. Moon then saw himself as the Messiah. At odds with the teachings of his Presbyterian church, he was excommunicated, and rightfully so, and formed his own church in the 1950s. As the Messiah, Moon claims that salvation was only possible through pledging obedience to him, and after 7 years of service, taking a spouse picked by him. The religion became known for its mass weddings. If you look up any sort of pictures, you will see tons and tons of mass weddings, okay, where he presides over the marriages of hundreds of people at one time. Already a successful businessman in the 1970s, he moved his headquarters to New York, where he attracted new members to his movement, as well as widespread suspicion. Rightfully so, as a focus of the anti-cult movement gaining momentum at the time. Parents of church members began kidnapping and deprogramming their children. They also filed lawsuits, and by 1982, Moon was convicted of tax evasion. Now known as the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification, the church is still very, very much active. Yep. Sending him lots and lots and lots of money. Yes, that he was not claiming and not reporting. Oh no. A lot of the stuff he's done has just been like fishy money stuff. But were they violent? No. Do I count them as a cult? No. They're just a bunch of fucking weirdos. Next. Rajni Spurum. There is a Netflix documentary on this. It is very, very good. I liked it a lot when it came out. It's why Abe got... Ooh! The dude's life was wrecked by the moon weirdos. The moon weirdos are moon weirdos. Taxes will kill you. Tax evasion, the crime they pin you with when they can't pin you with. Taxes are of the devil. No one should pay them. Amen. Taxation is theft. That is my humble opinion. One day, anyway, watches and Rolls Royces, let's go! Rajni Spurum, okay? Started in 1958, but it built its little city in Oregon, in 1981. They were known for their bioterror attacks and assassination of a U.S. attorney. They're still active globally, though. I believe they're still active in India as well. Okay? An untraditional Indian guru, Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, okay, embraced earthly pleasures. There are so many weird, very unnerving, and kind of creepy clips, and you'll see it on the Netflix documentary of just like piles of human beings doing weird sexual movements and moaning together. Yucko. It's like a sex past sweat dream, this cult. They are just sex in a pile. And then, you know, it got kind of really violent when that one lady took over. So, in fact, his ideas were largely rejected in India itself, and he found larger followings in the US and Europe, where all the whites are like, yes, let me pull my chicken in. Okay. Rajneesh began his congregation in India in the 1970s. Okay. Setting up a headquarters in Pune in 1974. However, after facing increasing hostility there, Rajneesh moved to the United States and soon purchased land in Oregon, where followers built their own city called Rajneeshpuram. Ma Anand Sheila, an Indian woman who helped organize Rajneeshpuram, became a member of Rajneesh's inner circle. As Rajneesh no longer spoke in public, Sheila took control of daily operations in the city. And she really took control. By 1985, Rajneeshpuram had more than 2,500 residents, but had become embroiled in local tensions. During the previous year, Sheila instituted the Share a Home program, where the city bussed in thousands of homeless people in order to register them as voters there, in a failed attempt to influence the Wasco County court elections. Wow! Makes you think. During the previous year, around the same time, Sheila and other leaders of the commune orchestrated the first bioterrorist attack in U.S. history by poisoning restaurant food in the large town of Dallas, I think, in the attempt to reduce the voter population. They sickened 750 people. What the heck? In 1985, Sheila and other leaders fled the commune, and Rajneesh was deported for immigration fraud. Despite his death in 1990, Rajneesh's movement still lives, and the next documentary is called Wild, Wild Country, where it's all chronicled. Yeah, an excuse to weird Seb stuff. Yes, please, shut the fuck up. If I take my meds, the based anime girls disappear. Down the Rabbit Hole did a good video on Rajneesh, but it got taken down. Blah. No, did Frederick's video get taken down? I always love Knutson's video on the Rajneesh. Yeah, it is pretty, like, you buy because of all, like, the sex stuff, so looks like I gotta kick the crap out of Rajneeshpuram again. Oh my god. He has to go back. Reinforced, if you will. Wait, seriously? Yep. Fortified, might one say. Yep. Average Californian yoga instructor. Shut the fuck up. Okay, this one's a really big, like, was a mouthful. So, Sena, how in the name of all that is just can you not call these cults? Oh, I am. These are, I mean, it's violent. If it's violent, it's a cult. This is a cult. This is a cult. This is a cult. This is iffy. This is a cult. This is a cult. This is a cult. This is just weird. Yeah. Alright. Movement for the Restoration of the Ten Commandments of God started in 1989, bombed their own church as part of the apocalypse. 513 people died. It's no longer active, obviously, because they're fucking dead. I came in on Jamestown. Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, now you know. Gumin. Founded by 4 ex-Roman Catholic priests, 2 ex-nuns, and 1 ex-prostitute. That's a joke. They write themselves. The movement of the Restoration of the Ten Commandments of God, or MRTCG, in Uganda emphasized the importance of the Ten Commandments. Through visions of the Virgin Mary, the leaders were convinced that the Roman Catholic Church had abandoned the commandments. The leaders had also had doomsday prophecies. They predicted the apocalypse would occur on December 31st, 1999. In anticipation of this, members sold their possessions. However, when the end of the world didn't come that day, the leaders quickly altered their prediction, and they claimed that the Virgin Mary would come on March 17, 2000 to save the faithful and bring them to heaven. Still believing the prophecies, members held a feast on March 16th. They killed some cattle for the occasion and even ordered grates of Coca-Cola. When March 17th arrived, police discovered that an explosion and fire had killed hundreds of the group's members. Although at first this was assumed to be a mass suicide, nay, the evidence and subsequent uncovering of more bodies at other sites soon pointed to murder. Leaders had murdered their members, perhaps because they were unable to repay them for giving away their possessions after the prophecy failed to materialize. It was never determined whether the leaders killed themselves or fled the country. Dun dun. The 1990s were a wild time. Yeah, they were, weren't they? Ah, gotcha. Yeah, a little weird. Dang, it is windy out. Okay. Order of the Solar Temple. Fucking weirdos. Probably fled. Yeah, I mean, they had all that money from it. I'm sure they fled. Niners were kind of wild west of cults. Yeah, a little bit. I think there's probably a lot going on still. It's just probably not being widely covered. Am I a cult? Are you? What about the South Korean feminist cult that runs the country? I don't know about that. Maybe we can cover that in the obscure parts. Oh no, Dark Soul Bros, Solaire ain't cool no more. So, has roots in the French Revolution. It started in 1984. There's multiple mass suicides and murders. The leader killed a 3-month-old baby because the baby was the Antichrist. Hello. Fucking evil. Heaven's Gate is still technically active. Oh, is it really? Well, I can update that. Not as newsworthy as social media darlings and ex-royalty. Praise the sun. They pretend to be Knights Templar, and are still active with potentially 140 members. But killed a 3-month-old child. When children get involved, I'm just like, what the fuck? I hate people! Okay. Joseph de Mombro and Luc Jouret founded the Order of the Solar Temple in Geneva in 1984. The Geneva Convention. Okay. It was one of many groups that have seen itself as a revival of the medieval Knights Templar. Jouret claimed to be both Christ and the reincarnation of one member of the 14th century order. The leaders also prophesied that de Mombro's daughter, Emmanuelle, would take the group's members to a planet that revolved around the star Sirius after their earthly death. The Order of the Solar Temple was a doomsday cult. De Mombro and Jouret believed the end of the world would come in the mid-1990s. However, the group lost several members, including Emmanuelle, after what leaders claimed was a vision was exposed as a hoax. Finally, in 1994, de Mombro and Jouret believed the end was near and it was time for transit to a new planet. In order to enter a higher spiritual plane, 53 members of the order committed suicide or were murdered in Canada and Switzerland on October 4th and 5th, 1994. The buildings were also set on fire after their deaths, and de Mombro and Jouret's remains were found among the bodies. So at least they killed themselves too, right? It was later revealed that de Mombro had also recently ordered the murder of an infant he believed to be the Antichrist. 16 more members of the order died in France in December 1995, and 5 more after that in Quebec in March 1997. Are they in France? Francois! Yes, they're dirty Frenchmen. Dirty Frenchman. And that is pretty much it for tonight. Next time, I will see you whores, and we will create the cult of bear. Where the weed cult. It'll be there. So these are the most infamous. We'll be covering others. I will be raiding into Pippa soon while all wait here and hold hands singing Kumbaya. But before we do that, I'd like to discuss a cult that was recently mentioned on the Discord. Russellmere? It was fun. Thank you, Sena. Praise the ocean king. Okay. Gekoslavi. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Gekoslavi is or used to be a Russian cult worshipping Gadget Hackwrench from Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Thank you, Mio, for the submission. Its name is based off Gadget's Russian name, Geka. The first report about this cult appeared on English Russia in February 2010, and the comment section reveals it has existed since at least 2009. Where the cult held a meeting in the city of Nizhny Novgorod to celebrate Gadget's birthday on March 15th. Gobble, gobble, gooba, gobble. Why? What's up? Gotta remember this, do you? English Russia also quotes members of the cult giving reasons for their worship. She is the divine being, the most untouched and perfect sibling of the great God on earth. Why I love her? It's a stupid question. How can I not love the goddess? She is strict, cute, optimistic, and her level of technical knowledge is unachievable for a mortal being. And the Gadget cult members. Let's copy image. We'll look at these nerds. Hold on. Oh, shit. Look how I would think they'd look. I mean, it's a very cute character. Is it worth a cult? I don't know. Please. Look at these. Look at these. One of us. Waifu's gone too far. Concern. Me on the bottom. This one or this one? This one. This is Ken Ash Corp. This is Dazzle. This is Celis. this is Java. Obviously the cat. Wait, on the bottom, hold on. Only just escaped. They're just like us, a cult based off of a furry character. Is bottom right male or female? Yes. A commenter who went by the name of Timofey Konev gave 2 insights into the cult. March 15, 2009, 13 people took to the streets of Nizhny Novgorod with torches and a banner with the image of the mouse dressed in blue overalls. It was spring-like, chill, still lay in drifts. But the marchers' rotten weather is not worried. Those marching were lit up and led the move as long as a post, a bearded man, and they reminded of Moses carrying the Jewish table. Rounded the Novgorod Kremlin. We stopped at the castle wall. Thank Gadget for a reason to come. I will tell posterity. Solemnly promised to a girl in a striped scarf. Comrades, we are going... Comrades! We are going to the city at night and have a light, just as it is, Gadget Radiant in Latin. Luciferia. Give us, Gadget, a bit like you. Touch us your invisible hand of the gold. Said in a sing-song voice guy in an unbuttoned jacket. On the torch can heat your nose, muttered Skeptic, which is not warmed love. Then there were fireworks, already in the apartment, put a candle, and small homemade icons, cut the cake, so followers of the Gadget cult celebrate the religious holiday, her birthday. What? People's birthday soon, I know! FlaVR General Meetup. Gekoslavi, a young religion which exists mainly on the internet. During its formation, followed by thousands of users, at least read the group The Cult Gadget Radiant and Vkontakte, but the true believers of all people, 40. Regular viewers of the Disney TV series Chip and Dale only draw sees only draw a mouse with a shock of orange hair, shifted her spectacles on her forehead ironworks, and habits of subscribers of the journal Young Technician. Nuts do not feed them. Give me something to make. But Geikoslavi was when viewing experience catharsis, I feel the touch or enlightenment in general. The stoop so that the words cannot explain. After this, middle-aged and seems very intelligent people are beginning to write about Gadget with capital letters. Her bright image. Her bright image. Shouting, Ave Gadget. Ave Gadget. Trying to come up with the mouse on the link. If life is ideal, there's a meaning to live and look. Gadget, where are you? How do I find you? All the things. Holy shit, what the fuck? Wow. Pip lied, by the way. Alright. It's been real, losers. I'll see you on the flip side, where we talk about cult again. I'll see you guys tomorrow. True to Gadget. Oh my god. Anyway. Goodbye. Farewell. Oh my god. We out this
This is
bitch.
gonna be cringe,
We out.
but I'm gonna do it anyway.